Welcome to the Joy of Cruising podcast with your host, award-winning author Paul C. Thornton, a weekly conversation with the amazing cruisers featured in the Joy of Cruising books, comprised of The Joy of Cruising, Cruising Interrupted, new release, The Joy of Cruising Again, as well as other fun, informative global cruise personalities. It's the next best thing to cruising, hearing about cruising from the unique and diverse perspectives of Paul's amazing guests. If you hear about a cruise that interests you, book it at www.thejoyofacation.com or enter to win a free cruise for two. Again, www.thejoyofacation.com. We really appreciate your feedback, so leave us a text. Paul can't reply, but he may read your text on the air.
Hello, passionate cruisers. This is Paul, and I am delighted to welcome this week to the Joy of Cruising podcast, Justin Sorrell, aka MrBucketlist. Justin is a video creator and influencer and the creator of the MrBucketlist YouTube channel, where almost 20,000 subscribers get to follow his adventures on the seas mostly. As suggested by Justin's brand name, though, cruising is only one aspect of his adventure-seeking lifestyle. He has checked off a couple of hundred items on his bucket list in numerous forms. Justin is a confirmed thrill seeker, having visited over 80 theme parks, and we, of course, want his thoughts on the new Epic Universe at Universal Studios, which he just sampled. Last time Justin was on the show, he talked about plans to visit his 50th state, Hawaii, via a cruise on NCL Pride of America. Well, that has happened, along with about a dozen other cruises since he was last on, well over a year ago. Welcome back, Justin, to the Joy of Cruising podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So how you doing?
I am doing well. I'm in a really good mood. Like I said, happy to be here. How about you?
Everything is fine. Just came back a short, well, not short, but a land trip. Our last cruise was pretty nice. I was on Explorer Journeys.
Okay.
But this trip we just got back from was a land trip to Dubai.
I saw the pictures. Yeah, I saw it. I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, first time, but definitely not the last.
Yeah, it was nice.
But this is about you, so thank you for coming back on.
Sure.
Tell our listeners about yourself in general, where you're from, where you live, professional background, anything you would like to share.
Sure. So originally I was born in Jersey, Camden, New Jersey. I'm from North Carolina. I moved down here after college down to Florida. So I currently have properties in both Orlando and Tampa, so Central West Florida. Professionally, currently right now I'm retired. A lot of people when I say that, they think I'm talking about military. It's not. I'm financially retired, so from investments. Before that, I did a lot of different things, and that's the reason why I'm retired. Like I was tired of all of it. But I worked in healthcare. I worked at Disney as an intern. I worked at Universal as an intern. I worked in insurance, and then my last background was in financials, so investments.
Kind of the facts about yourself, the objective information about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this question's a little different. Who is MrBucketlist?
Who is MrBucketlist? Well, the reason why I came up with that name, I know this is the Joy of Cruising podcast. A lot of people call me a cruise vlogger, a cruise blogger. That is true, but that's not only it. So I could say Cruising with MrBucketlist, and I have done an actual channel named that. But the reason why I go by MrBucketlist is because I try to do everything. So yes, I love my cruises. As of next month, I'll be doing my 30th solo cruise. But I do a lot more. And so MrBucketlist is just all my different things. So travel, whether it's land trips, cruises, theme parks, adventures, food, I try to do it all. So MrBucketlist is just my ongoing list of activities.
And listeners, if you want to get a sense for some of those adventures that Justin refers to, check out our earlier episode. And you have an adventure that I want to ask you about. So I will a little later. But you checked off a major milestone, getting to your 50th state, and you did it in style on the NCL Pride of America. So take us through that cruise, starting with the ship itself.
Sure. So this was actually last year, and so I want to make it clear because it just recently got remodeled and refurbished. Even last year, to me, in my opinion, the ship was beautiful. It felt like an American museum, just the way it was. I've never been on a cruise ship like that before, where everywhere you go, it's just America first. So you had statues, flags. It was really nice, and so I was really surprised to hear it got refurbished. But as far as the ship, it was smaller than I'm used to. Before that, I was on Icon, so it was a lot smaller. A beautiful ship and a beautiful cruise. Not,
How many, what's the capacity? Do you know?
oh man, I would say probably that one no more than 2,400.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So not big at all.
Differentiate. I understand that there are, first of all, Proud of America, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is the only U.S. flagship, is right? Is that correct? Have you heard that?
That is correct. Hmm.
Yeah. So to the extent that you notice, differentiate for the listeners the Pride of America from, and I'll just call every other cruise ship you've been on, traditional cruising. I hear there's some things that are different, uniquely different.
So one is, of course, well, I don't know if you all know, but something about gambling and things. It doesn't have a casino, so that is very noticeable once you get on board. No casino. Because it is an American flag flown ship, there is primarily American employees, if I'm not mistaken. And you'll definitely notice. Now, you'll still have some other employees that look traditional in the cruising world sense, but for the most part, you can tell they're all American. A lot of people have issues with that because I guess they say American customer service is a little bit different than traditional. For me, I had no issues whatsoever. Um, Outside of that, I mean, entertainment and everything, at least on that cruise ship, again, because everything's pretty much American, it was a lot how to say this without saying it bad. It was a lot different than what I'm used to. It was a lot less extravagant, and so it just I don't know. Like I said, it was that's the type of cruise you go on for the actual destination itself. But again, like I said, for me, I didn't have any issues with the cruise. The cruise itself was still it was a beautiful cruise ship.
Anything was the food pretty much on par with other cruise food?
So what they did was because it was in Hawaii, they pretty much had like a Hawaii menu. So even like for example, NCL is known for their 24-hour food spot. So it's called the local. It's called Sheehan's. It has different names, but it's pretty much it always has the same menu. Well, on that particular cruise ship, it had a Hawaiian menu. So you go there, you can get the where they have the patty and the rice. I forgot what they call it. But they have like the different Hawaiian traditional menu items in the different restaurants. So that I did notice. But outside of that, I mean, everything else is pretty much the same. Of course, the excursions were amazing. I'll talk about the cruise a little bit. I did a lot. I did a lot on that cruise. That was pretty much because that was my 50th state. I made sure that all the excursions were top tier. So, I mean, I did the plane ride over the Nepali coast and went around the entire island. I did a volcano tour. I did a food tour. I did the luau. I did a snorkel in one of the bays out there in Hawaii that was famous because of Moana, the movie. I did about two excursions at each port, and we went to six different ports.
Oh wow. Well, what was your itinerary? Tell us the ports.
Oh man, so I'm sure you know Hawaii's names of their ports are very difficult to say. So I really can't pronounce it. I'll try. Let me see
You
here.
know we're grading you on pronunciation.
So here we go. So Honolulu, of course, that's where we started. That's nothing. Maui. Oh, I forgot about that. So I did a beautiful excursion on horseback where we actually took a horseback down a mountain into like a river and like waterfall. Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Then Hilo, that's where I did the volcano, where they have Volcanoes National Park and all that stuff was in
Mm-hmm.
Hilo.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kona, that is where I did so it's called Captain Zodiac. So it's basically like a little mini speedboat. You go out and snorkel and stuff like that. Dolphins were around us the whole time. So it was beautiful to see natural dolphins coming up and interacting with us. The Willy Willies, that's where I did the luau at. So we were actually there for 2 different days. But that was the
What was
luau.
it called?
The Willy Willy,
Okay.
I think they call it the Big Island, if I'm not mistaken. But like so, we spent 2 days there, and that's where I did the luau, and then also I did that plane ride. And I said that plane ride, it was very similar to you and I talked about this in the last podcast, how I did the helicopter ride in Alaska and how beautiful it was. It was the reverse. It was in Hawaii, and like I said, it's called an airvan ride. So essentially, it was a plane, but it had huge windows. I had the entire back seat to myself, so I could look out both the windows, and it was about an hour long trip. It was beautiful.
Oh man.
Hmm.
I tell you, I did a Hawaiian cruise. So we went to all of the islands that you mentioned,
Okay.
but you just kill me on excursions. So I don't know if it's because you are a thrill
That's what it is.
seeker
Hmm.
or because I'm a wimp. But my excursions didn't come close to yours.
Oh,
Those sound wonderful.
thank you. They were. No regrets.
Yep, yep. So how long did you was Proud of America?
So that was actually a 7 day, 6 night cruise, and then I actually went to Honolulu for 2 days beforehand. So those 2 days, I went to Pearl Harbor. I did like a complete food tour, so I tried all the local foods and just like stuff like that. And then I went to the Luau Ranch, which is like that ranch where Jurassic Park and all the different movies are at. So I did
Oh
the
yeah,
VIP tour,
okay.
and that was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. We did something similar, except we did it the opposite. So we did Honolulu
Okay.
first,
Hmm.
Pearl Harbor, and went to where Gilligan's Island was
Hmm.
filmed, and different places like that. And then we did the cruise afterwards because the cruise was continuing on up to Alaska.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was the what's called the Fire and Ice
Hmm.
cruise.
Yep.
So now you've checked off 50 out of 50.
Uh-huh.
So you've done the states. Have you done all the national parks yet?
It's a lot. I looked into that and I saw how many there were. I was like, oh God.
How,
So
really? How many are there?
I
I mean, offhand, do you
I
know?
really can't remember. I just remember pulling up a list and I was like, this is a lot more than I thought it was gonna be. So no, I haven't. So they have ones that are more popular than others, and that's what I was getting confused. They have one that are like basically worldwide known, and then they have some that you would never know about unless you look at that list.
Okay,
Now
okay.
I have been to some big ones. Like for example, I
Too
went
many
to
of them.
yeah, there's too many of them, but I mean, I've seen some. Like the one, for example, that's in Forest Gump, Miami Valley. I went there, and the other ones around. So I've seen some pretty nice ones.
What's your next achievement? You've done the 50 states. You probably have done most of the major national monuments or national parks.
Hmm.
Have any milestone you're trying to achieve?
I do. So it's a couple different things. As far as like bucket list items, so because I've been doing so much, it's kind of hard to keep track with it. I do want to see the Northern Lights. I keep seeing videos and pictures of it, and so I do want to see the Northern Lights. I also do want to see all seven continents, and so I've actually looked it up, I priced it out, and I pretty much have it set as far as how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do a cruise on Princess. I've never done Princess before, but they have a cruise that does both Australia and Antarctica. So that's my last two. Australia and Antarctica. And then, ironically, this is going to sound very cheesy, but because I've done so much, a lot of this stuff has been solo. So I really want to kind of just settle down and kind of do this with someone else. It's kind of, I mean, doing it by myself after a while, it gets tedious to say the least. And so that's actually one of my big milestones, just to kind of settle things down.
Yeah, so what you could do, here I am putting words in your mouth, but you know, you've seen some of these wonderful things and cruised some wonderful ships
Uh huh.
solo. You can maybe repeat some things with
That's
someone,
true.
and relive it.
That is
You
true.
know, yeah, yeah. Well, I have NCL Pride of America in the title, but since you talked about that as you're aspiring to do that to get to your 50th state,
Uh huh.
you mentioned that the last time we got together.
Hmm.
So it's been well over a year since we last got together. So you've probably cruised a zillion times since then.
I
What's your latest?
So I'll go down the list real fast. My latest was actually NCL Prima to Bermuda. That was my first time to Bermuda out of NYC. Also the first time doing that. Um,
How'd you like Prima?
I loved it. It was really nice. It was different than any other NCL ship I've been on. You can definitely tell it had like a different type of elegance and more for the adults. But it was nice. Like I said, just the whole vibe. I mean, I'm so used to cruising out the Caribbean and cruising to the Caribbean and out of Florida. Being in New York, everything was just completely different. And even, I mean, we had the nighttime sailing under the bridge. It was really, really nice. It was a good cruise. And Bermuda, that was probably the cleanest island I've ever seen. There was nothing about poverty. Like, when you go to certain Caribbean islands, you have the good side, then you have the tourist. Well, you have the tourist side, then you have the locals. There's no such thing in Bermuda. It all looks the same. So I really enjoyed that cruise and that cruise ship.
We'll be right back.
Do you have a dream car? Mine is the Lucid Air. Are you intrigued by electric vehicles? The Lucid Air EV has been called the best driving car in the world. And the Lucid Air Sapphire is certifiably the fastest production car in the world. Listen to Lucid Driver Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts or at luciddriver.buzzsprout.com. Prima, I understand Prima kind of wants to, it modeled itself after like a boutique hotel. Do you get those vibes?
I do. So kind of like Virgin Voyages, it feels the same way. It has that clean, like that elegant, like you said, like almost like resort vibe to it.
Yeah, if everything was normal, I would be getting on the Prima this fall. We had scheduled the Prima to go up to the fjords in Iceland. It was a great itinerary, and it was leaving from Southampton, which I've never been to UK at all. So we were going to do a couple of days in London before we go. I guess a few hours down south to Southampton. So we had it booked, and then came time to book flights. And man, I got sticker shock. I mean, the airfare, we went to the Med 3 years ago, maybe, and I am not exaggerating. The airfare to go to Southampton and back is 3 times what we paid to go to Rome and back 3 years ago. Yeah, it was crazy. I thought it was a typo, So to make a long story short, I canceled it.
Oh yeah, I would have to shoot.
So what did you go on before that?
I did a lot. So my friend and I, she was a really big fan of MSC, so we did a bunch of the MSC cruises. So MSC Seaside, on the seashore. We also did Celebrity Silhouette, Virgin Voyages, The Resilient Lady, Utopia of the Seas, and then I did the media cruise for Margaritaville at Sea Islander. So quite a good group of different cruises.
So what? Give us some highlights of that's a really nice set of cruises. Give us some highlights.
Thank you. So I would say for the MSC cruises, the main highlight. So we did one of the Western Caribbean cruises that went to all the different places like Cozumel, Belize, Costa Maya, things like that. That was really nice. The Seaside, it had just came over to America at the time. I was still in Europe, I believe, and so it was like his first couple of weeks in America. So that was cool. Celebrity, I've been wanting to get back on Celebrity, and so the Silhouette isn't one of the newest ships, but it's a very nice ship. And so for that was really cool. I ended up getting a VIP service, and we got one of the little reserved alcove experiences. So essentially, we had a butler for a day, which was really nice. Virgin Voyages was actually a media cruise as well. It had like celebrity DJ, and it was like a 2-night sailing to nowhere. That was phenomenal. And then of course Utopia. It's Utopia. I call it Booztopia of the Seas. There's nothing but a bunch of drinking and people partying. For Margaritaville at Sea, like I said, that was actually the Islander. That was a media cruise, so that was before it actually sailed to the public. They had the news and all that stuff, and so they have a friends and family list that they basically ask people that support Margaritaville at Sea to come. So cruise to nowhere, everything was included. It was my first time that I ever actually had a fully stocked bar in my room that was paid for already, and so I'm not a big drinker, but it was nice to get so many bottles to take home. That was actually really, really nice.
Now, I've stressed to the listeners, or reminded the listeners, especially those who didn't get introduced to you the first time you came on, that you are a confirmed thrill seeker. Yeah. I knew I wanted to get you back on the show to talk about that milestone, that 50th state milestone, but I also knew that I didn't want to get you back on the show until you had broken in uh, Epic Universe at Universal Studios. So,
That's right.
I know some listeners are eagerly waiting to hear your thoughts on that. Give us the details.
Sure. So I've actually been there. Well, I've been there 5 times as of this recording. Epic Universe, the way I break it down is it is Universal's version of Disney's Magic Kingdom for people born in the 21st century. So essentially, it's an updated version of Magic Kingdom. It is truly about the experience. Yes, it has great rides and great shows, but it's like you don't just go there for the rides, you don't just go there for the shows, you go there for everything. When I first walked through, I was really blown away as far as what they had to offer because I mean, it really feels like multiple theme parks in one. It's nothing like it. It's just that
Is it
simple.
geared more towards multi-generational, or is it
It
geared more
is
towards kids? Or okay,
multi-generational. So I'll give you an example. How to Train Your Dragon. I think that's a kids movie. I've never seen it before, but when you go there, you can tell it's for kids. Mario and Super Mario World. I mean, it's based off of the '90s stuff, and again, kids love that. But then when you go to the Dark Universe, I didn't know anything about it, but now I know the Dark Universe is like Frankenstein, the werewolf. That's like older type of stuff. Like little kids really don't know much about that. And when I went there, I was like, man, this is kind of scary. So I mean, they do have a little bit of everything for everybody.
and then they have, I would suspect, as in other parks, there are
Mhm.
other parks. They have, really fast and high-flying thrill rides.
They do. They actually have. So as far as the roller coasters, they have a couple, but they have one that stayed the arc. It's probably one of the best roller coasters I've ever been in, just because it's so unique. It's called Stardust Racers, and it's essentially two different roller coasters racing against each other. And everyone, just to give you some history, in the past, Islands of Adventure, Universal's other park, had two racing roller coasters, and they got rid of it to replace it with Harry Potter. A lot of people were upset about it. They had no idea that this roller coaster was coming in the pipeline. Now that it's here, literally people are saying it's the best roller coaster on earth. It's really that good.
So it measures up to Mr. Bucket List standards.
Yes, yeah.
Now, can people attend Epic Universe? That's what it's called, right? Epic Universe.
Epic. Uh-huh.
Can they attend with one ticket, Epic Universe, and then Islands of Adventure?
At this moment, no. What they do is you can either buy a ticket just for Epic Universe, or you can buy a multi-day ticket that includes other parks and Island Adventure. So if you do, it has to be a multi-day park.
Okay, but you could do Epic Universe in one day.
You can, yeah.
Well, I hope that. Well, I know that further piqued the interest of our listeners who are, especially those on the East Coast and those who are thrill park uh, goers. Let's talk about the future. Justin, what do you have booked?
So right now, what I have booked, let me take a look here and see. So I have a few MS.
So you got to pull out your list.
Yeah, I got.
Most people, yeah, I got 2 or 3 cruises, but you got to pull out your list.
So again, like I said, I'm on this MSC thing. So as of right now, I have a goal of seeing all the different MSC cruise ships that's currently here in America. So I'll be doing the MSC Grandiosa, and MSC World America, which I know is a big one, everyone.
I'm hearing
Yeah.
amazing things about World America.
Yes, yes. So I will be there. I postponed it. I was actually supposed to do it last month, but some things came up and I postponed it. But I'll be doing that, and then I'll actually be celebrating my 30th solo cruise on August 1st of this year. So I'll be on NCL Gym. It's nothing crazy, but it actually is significant for me. So my first cruise ever was on NCL Sky, and you and I talked about this. I think you did as well, didn't you? NCL Sky.
Right, yeah, I've been on Sky.
So yeah, that was my first cruise ship, and on that cruise, we missed the private island, the Great Stirrup Cay, and so I've cruised to that island 7 different times now, and I've missed it every single time. So I'm hoping,
Wow.
yes, because of that dock, you know how they can't dock, whatever. So I'm hoping on
Right,
this
right, right.
cruise, I'm hoping it actually works out. It would be nice on my 30th cruise to actually make it to that island. I know it's nothing special, but I want to go there. So that's down the pipeline, and NCL Aqua as well. I'm doing a 2-night cruise on there as well.
Great Stirrup Cay is a really nice stop.
I've heard. I've heard. Oh, I wish I could see it, but I've heard.
What's still on your bucket list?
So my bucket list, oh man. That's a hard one. This is gonna sound crazy, and I'm just waiting for it to actually come to people more like people like us, not celebrities. but I really want to go to space. Like I really, really want to go to space, and I know it's going to be eventually possible for consumers. I know it's going to be extremely expensive, and so I'm trying to wait it out so I can actually afford it. But that's one of them, going to space. Like you were saying earlier, as far as the eight wonders of the world. I've seen about four of them, if I'm not mistaken. So I do want to complete that as well, seeing the rest of them. And then outside of that, I don't know. Like I said, just more cruising, just more just theme parks. Like I really want to do another media sailing. I really enjoy those, and I think most likely I will. I don't want to spoil it here because it's kind of a behind the scenes thing. But there's a couple of new cruise ships that are coming out, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on when they launch for the media. So just continue to do that as well.
Well, I'm sure we'll have you back on,
Oh yeah.
and if we're still, we're up to what episode, close to 200 episodes.
Wow.
If we get
Wow.
up to over 1,000 episodes, uh, you'll probably be going up to space by then. I'll come aboard, creaky old man, to get the goods on what it's like to go to space.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Uh, all right, Justin. Before we let you go, a couple of light, even fun questions.
Sure.
We changed them up a bit because you are not a newbie. You've been here before, so we want to
hmm
try
That's right.
some different questions on you. And let me at this moment take the time to welcome the many Mr. Bucket List fans and friends who are listening. Thank you for checking out the Joy of Cruising podcast. We hope that you've liked what you've heard and will come back for more. And we invite you to join our Facebook group and our Instagram page. So, Justin, so that your friends can get to know you just a little bit better, let me ask a few questions that I like to ask repeat guests. First one's an easy one. How do you spend your me time?
Oh, that is easy. So I've been living alone since pretty much since I moved to Florida, which is in 2015. So my me time is pretty much my every day. What I do is, I mean, it just really depends. So I love theme parks. I have annual passes to all the theme parks down here in Florida. I have a game room. I built a game room in my home. So if I want to play games, I can do that. Or if I'm really adventurous, like you all see in my YouTube videos, I just go and explore. There's a lot to do down here in Florida.
What's playing these days on your Bluetooth speaker, headphones, or however you consume music?
Sure. So one thing I've started to do, and it may sound weird, but it's actually been really useful. I've replaced my music with podcasts. I like to learn, I like to hear stuff. So instead of listening to lyrics I've heard millions of times, I listen to podcasts, and that's pretty much my music. So I learn different topics.
Turn the listeners on to. Are there any in particular you want to turn the listeners on to?
Oh man. So it really just depends on the type of mood I'm in. For example, like with all the stuff that's going on in the world, like for example, I'll listen to like different news podcasts. I rather not mention who they are, so I just don't want to get any type of ideas. But I listen to like news type of podcasts, or like for example, your podcast. Like if I'm going on a cruise and I'm packing, I'm like, oh, let me listen to one of Paul's podcasts. So it just really depends.
Do you follow? Do you listen to podcasts or follow YouTube channels about like theme parks and all of
I
that?
do.
Uh, do you have a favorite music artist?
I do. So that and it's a good question. So my favorite music artist is actually artist. It's two set of guys, and their name is Odessa. A cool fact about them is, so I make cruise documentaries. That's pretty much how I got my whole cruising channel going, and that's pretty much how a lot of people know me from my documentaries. I use their music in each and every one of my intros to my cruise documentaries. That's how much I like them. And I've been doing that since 2020. So I've seen them in live in person twice. I don't know how to explain their music. They're not, they play instruments and they play instruments, electronic instruments and stuff like that. They can play drums or whatever, but they have guests sing over their tracks or they'll do instrumentals. But their main thing is they have really experiences. So when you go there, all the 3D effects and stuff like that, it's really nice to see in person.
You know what it sounds like, uh, and not that I've seen this, but this is something kind of on my bucket list.
Uh-huh.
You ever heard of Blue Man Group?
Yep, and they are very similar to Blue Man Group by the effects and stuff, not the way they do it, but it's an experience. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in fact, I do have a land trip scheduled to Vegas in the fall,
Okay.
and you know, I might catch a Blue Man Group.
You should. I saw them. They used to have a show at Universal, and when I was working there, so I got VIP seats for like $5, and I sat front row with my ex girlfriend, and we watched Blue Man Group, and it was really good.
It was good.
Yeah.
A lot of a lot of things with the electronics and backgrounds
Mm-hmm.
and screens and all. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff, especially on cruise ships.
Yeah.
You say you saw That's Alive.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of gets to my next question. What's the last live concert that you experienced?
So, I mean, I guess it's a concert because it was a musical, but the last one I saw was actually my birthday. My birthday was last month, and I saw Back to the Future, the musical.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Uh, Turn our listeners on to a favorite recent movie or television show you've experienced.
So my favorite,
You seem like you would be a movie fan.
I
I
am.
mean, the
I'm
theater.
a huge movie fan. And now a show fan as well. So my favorite show that I've been watching, and this should make sense when I say it. I love The Amazing Race. A lot of my destinations that I go to and stuff like that, I've seen them on The Amazing Race. I'm like, oh, I gotta go there. I wish I could live my life like that show. That's how much I like it. It's really cool to see people travel the world and all the different stuff. It's really enjoyable.
Have you seen anything good in the movies lately?
Yes, I've seen quite a few movies lately. What did I see? So I love Sinners. That was really good. Uh,
Yeah, so that is number one on my list.
okay.
A good friend of mine saw it. It was so good, he called me from the theater.
Yeah,
You know, so I mean, after the movie,
yeah.
after the
Just to
movie's
tell you,
over.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I saw that, and then I saw the most recent movie I saw was last week. I went and saw Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. The reason why that was significant was so I went and did the Screen X experience. I don't know if you've ever done that before, but it's when they have
No.
three different screens, and it's almost like being in a theme park ride. So they have three different screens. They have the main screen, and then they have two on the side. So it feels like you're in a bubble, and they have action on all the different screens. So it's like a
Oh
lot bigger.
man.
I mean, you know what IMAX is? It's like IMAX, but it's just different because the screens actually come forward towards you, so it really feels like you're in there. And Tom Cruise was saying he was like, I know you all want to see it in IMAX, but please, I want you to see in this. And it makes sense because because they have those additional screens, stuff you can't really see that's going on off camera, like on your regular TV, you can see it there. So it's only with certain sections, like action sections and stuff like that. But it was really, really unique. It was amazing.
So that's national. That's not just a Florida thing. I have never heard of that.
It's national, but I think they only have it in oh man, because I looked it up and it was weird because they have one right down the street from me, but it's only in maybe 7 or 8 different states, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
It's
okay. Well, two questions about movies. First of all, I like Tom Cruise a lot,
thanks, thanks.
and I haven't seen the last Mission Impossible. How was it?
It was good. I heard some bad things about it. I heard it wasn't that good and stuff. To me, it felt like the rest of them. It was really good. The action scenes, and that man puts his life on the line for everything. And that movie, he definitely did it. I'll just say this: the submarine scene. Everyone kept saying how great it was. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Please go see that movie.
Okay, okay. Let's close with this. What's your favorite movie of all time?
So my favorite movie is actually when I went to see the musical, Back to the Future. I love that movie to death. For example, I have a Back to the Future almost like shrine in my home where I have the hoverboard, I have all the models, I have movies. I went and saw the entire cast. So it's something called MegaCon. It's like the Comic Con here in Orlando. They had the entire class, including the principal, the old man, there. I met them, had dinner with them. It was like a $2,000 experience, but it was worth it because it was my favorite movie. So that is my favorite movie. I love that movie. I can repeat it word for word.
Yeah, I've had a guest on twice,
Uh-huh.
and that's his favorite movie.
Okay.
And he happens to be a podcaster. He's in UK,
Okay.
but he happens to be a podcaster, and his podcast is about movies.
Okay.
And the name of his podcast, it might mean something to some of our listeners, is We Have Roads.
Yep.
Does that mean anything to you?
It does, yeah. So essentially,
Okay.
the first time that he went Back to the Future, because that's the name of the movie. When the first time they did it and they went Back to the Future, he was complaining about not having enough roads, and he was like, "We don't need roads." So
Yep.
wow, yeah, I think him and I would be really good
Yep.
friends.
Well, you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. So we have roads.
Ooh.
Justin, thank you so much for coming back on the Joe Cruising Podcast, and all the best to Mr. Bucket List. As I like to say, I'll see you on the ocean.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody.
The Joy of Cruising and Cruising Interrupted, each $16.99 plus shipping, and new release, The Joy of Cruising Again for $18.99 can be ordered at the link on thejoyofcruisingpodcast.com. For each of the 3 books, use the discount code Joy of Cruising Podcast and get $4 off. The Joy of Cruising books are also available at Amazon. Order the ebook at Amazon or your favorite online retailer. Stay in touch by joining the Joy of Cruising Podcast Facebook group or following the Joy of Cruising Podcast on Instagram. We're constantly adding new shows. Please leave a review and tell a friend about us. We hope you enjoyed this brief escape to the ocean. See you next week.